Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're doing amazing. Today I have another fantastic reading to do for you guys for the general collective. So just remember, this is a general reading. If the message doesn't flow, just let it go. Another day, I guess, for you if it doesn't fit. But if it does, fantastic. Let's get into this. Anyway, yesterday I'm so excited because I've been waiting for these cards for so long, and there was a little bit of a hiccup in the mail, but it's all good now. It's all relaxed in here, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing this reading with these cards right now. But just yesterday I got in the mail Journey of Love, if I can grab these. Journey of Love Union and Journey of Love 2. And these are both by, and I gotta do it with the little song, like how she does it, like her little jingle, I guess you could say, in her videos. They're from Bridget Raoult of Divine Essentials. So yeah, check out her channel, check out Bridget's channel. I'll link her down below. She does amazing at readings, and she's got like tons of great cards, and these two decks are only two of her decks. She has like a whole crap ton of more, channels a whole bunch of really great stuff to help people out. So definitely check out her Etsy shop, check out her YouTube channel, and even this candle over here in the corner is from her. It's a twin flame candle. So I figured that would be very appropriate to crack out for this reading, especially with her cards. So yeah, just a little shout out there for Bridget. Check her stuff out, and let's see what the cards have to say today. So today I decided to basically ask, since we are talking about a journey of love, we're asking about your journey specifically with your person. So instead of asking like what they're thinking, feeling, wanting kind of a thing, I decided to go with past, present, future, like a story. We're basically going to read a story here. We're going to see where you guys have been, where you guys are at right now, and where you may be headed down the line based upon your present and your past. So up here is the past, the middle section is the present, and the bottom row is the future. And these cards are like so big, so they're taking up so much space on my table, but that's fine. That's awesome. Let's get into it and see what's happened in your past. So the first thing we have is, what have we done? Karma. So definitely there seems to be some darkness in your past with this person. Definite karma, definite history, a not so easy history, definitely some struggles. This could look like a bunch of different things. It could be past life related. If it's in this lifetime, it could be anything. It could be toxic struggles like addictions maybe you have dealt with. There could have been codependent issues between you guys. Either one of you have had possibly addictions you've struggled with. Just the way you guys have handled your relationship before, maybe not communicating very well with one another, not understanding each other's love languages, a whole bunch of different things could be where there's been some karma. But either way, there's been some not so great stuff that has happened between you guys in the past, some icky things. So that's not so much fun. However, they do see you as you're a loyal companion. My love is unconditional. So I think that this goes both ways. It's a two-way street. I think you both see one another as a loyal companion and have had unconditional love in the past. You know, I don't think you guys would have stuck around and tried to fought through any karma in your past if there wasn't a love there that was true and unconditional, if there wasn't a loyal companion bond between one another. Also, I wanted you the moment I saw you, seduction. So when you guys first met, when you first locked eyes, there was that electricity that obviously just flowed through one another's bodies. Like, you just knew there was that instant connection. Like, you've known this person before. You knew this person in a previous life, possibly. Like, you just knew them. Even without saying a word to them, you knew them. And I think that you both definitely felt this way about one another when you guys first met, when you first connected. You know, whether that's in person or whether that's online, however it is that you guys met, there was definitely that irreplaceable electric connection that you've never felt with anybody else. And you both definitely felt that at the very, very start of when you guys connected. Karmic. This taught us our lessons equals blessings. So it's possible there could have been a karmic partner involved in either one of your histories. One or both of you could have had relationships with other people in your past that were not with one another, that, you know, were just not the right person. Other people that may have been narcissists, or other people who just may have been toxic and just not good for you. But you know, you went through some hard stuff, having experiences with other people outside of the person that you're asking about. And even though those times were hard and difficult and dark at times, you came out of them. Like, you both came out of them. You both came out of them stronger and better than where you were, and probably helped you both learn and grow, to learn about yourself personally, and to learn about healthy relationships and how to handle things in a better way, to prepare you each for one another in the future. So you know, that's a challenging thing to deal with in the past. And it's funny because, you know, also here with this karma card, this karmic person, this karmic lesson could have been a part of the karma that occurred in the past. So there definitely could be a connection there, although it doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm ready to tell you everything. So in your past, one or both of you probably made confessions of love to one another. There was definitely probably a vulnerable communication that was exchanged between you guys, where one or both of you definitely got very real and raw about where you were at. It could have been before these karmic behaviors popped up. It could have been afterwards, but there was definitely that moment of truth that was expressed at some point between the both of you. So it's not like that's been hiding or anything like that. That cat's come out of the bag. And I want you now. And definitely there has been that that sexual energy between you guys as well, because, you know, it says aggressive, and I don't think that means that necessarily in like an angry way or anything like that. I think that just means, like, in the past you guys have definitely had this fire and this heat and this passion between the two of you, which probably ties in a lot to I wanted you the moment I saw you. Like, there was that spark, that instant connection, that electricity where you just wanted that person and they wanted you, and it was just like a collision, you know, like a fiery ball collision, explosion of amazingness. So this has definitely happened in the past as well. There's definitely been that heat and fire between you guys. So definitely a lot of ups and downs in your past. It seems like, you know, you guys have had good times with the heat and the passion, but also with that loyalty that comes along with true unconditional love. But you guys have also had difficulty, whether it's with a karmic partner or just with other lessons and hardships you both have had to experience, either together or separate. I'm definitely getting the vibe that this has been a long, ongoing saga between the two of you. So definitely the adventure. Okay, so where you are at right now, you You are my perfect custom fit. Trust. So I think that both you and this person, you both know that you're meant for each other. You both know, especially coming out of these difficult situations you've been through in the past, you both have learned and known and discovered from those situations that there's no one else that compares. There's no one else that competes. You know, it's like the shape of that person, there's a hole of that person in your heart, in their shape, and they're the only person who can fit in the shape of that hole in your heart. And the same goes for them with you. You know, a lot of people refer to that also as like the God-shaped hole, and I think we all have the God-shaped hole inside of us as well that can only be filled by God, but there's also a hole for that person, and that person has a hole in their heart only reserved for you. So you guys are the perfect match, like the lock and key. I regret letting you go, moving on. So at this time, one or both of you may be struggling to move on, you know, whether that looks like trying to date somebody else, trying to pursue a relationship elsewhere, or whether that's just putting that person out of sight, out of mind. One or both of you may be in that energy right now. But even though you guys may be trying to put this other person behind you, this past behind you, both of you are having a hard time doing that. It's not as easy as you think, and it's because this person is your perfect fit. You know, you can't just dismiss that. You don't just get over that and let go of that and move on. So there's definitely some struggle in that area right now. And you know that it's hard to move on because just like you're saying, I regret letting you go, I'm trying to move on, you know that this person is your destiny. You want them forever. They want you forever. I want you forever. That's what this card says. And, you know, look at how precious this card is, you know. The man is embracing the woman from behind, has his arms wrapped around her, and, you know, her hands are resting on top of his, and, you know, she's got the ring on her finger here, so there's definitely commitment. So even though you guys may be separated right now, you may not be talking right now, you may be even toying with the idea of moving on right now, you can't, because you're committed to this person in your heart, and they're committed to you in their heart. And, you know, if there wasn't that commitment there, there wouldn't be regret. Like, you wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. But you guys definitely feel that. You want each other forever because that person is your custom fit. Fiery, you make my temperature rise. So just like in the past, there was this I want you now aggressive energy. You're not done with this person in the playtime department, and neither are they with you. There's definitely still that fiery attraction, that explosive wanting to pounce on each other energy, wanting to rip each other's clothes off kind of energy. That's still there. You guys still want each other. The chemistry is still there. You know, you may have been through the ringer with this person. You may have been beaten down and, you know, had to get up from battle many times with this person, but it doesn't matter. That chemistry is still there. You know, that's a part of that magnetic pull. You can't resist. And they feel the same way. Shocking. I'm amazed by your beauty. So I feel like that is this other person. That's what your person is trying to tell you. You may not believe that you are as beautiful to this person as you think you are, because it says shocking up here. That may be a shock to you. You may look at yourself as like a plain Jane, just an average girl. Like, I have nothing major to offer. I'm just me, you know, I'm just being me, doing my own thing. But they see you as so much more than that. They see you as this diamond, as this shining star in their life, and they are just amazed by your beauty, which is another one of the reasons why they cannot let go of this. They can't move on. Like, They're just entranced by you. I'm so mad at myself. Anger. So one or both of you could definitely be mad at yourself for this time because, you know, there's a lot of regret here, trying to move on, trying to let go, and you could be angry because you can't just do that. And you're also probably angry because you want this person back and you don't know how to get them back. And they're probably feeling the same way. I definitely feel like there's a lot of mirroring going on in this group. Like everything that you're feeling, they're feeling. If you're feeling angry because you're missing this person, you have all this fiery passion and you can't express it to them, they're feeling that too. If you're angry because you're having regrets and you just want to let go, you just want to move on and you can't, they're feeling the same exact way. Yeah, like basically they're saying ditto is pretty much what's going on here. So that's where you're at currently. So, you know, if you put that together from what we saw in the first row, you guys went through a lot of valleys, you went through a lot of mountaintops, highs and lows, good times and bad times, going through karma, having fiery passion, having unconditional love. And now whatever has transpired between the two of you through those ups and downs, you're kind of in this stuck place right now. Because a lot of this is just kind of, it's like hangman energy, basically. You guys are just stuck, feeling that regret, feeling that anger, but still wanting that person, still knowing that person is your perfect fit. So it's kind of like you guys have been through the ups and downs, and now you're both kind of standing there in your own corners of the world, not really communicating to one another, but both asking the same question, now what? So, okay, let's jump into that. Now what? Let's see what's going to be now what. So now we're going to take a look into the future and what possible scenario could transpire in the future. And just remember, this is based on what has happened in the past, and this is based on where you're currently at. These future energies could always change based upon the track that you choose, based upon the choices that you make and the choices that they make as well. But on the track you are both currently on, this is where things are going. I just want loyal companionship, completion. So this is a great card to actually start out on for your future, because completion to me says happy ending, happily ever after. So I do see that there is a happily ever after that will come for you guys coming out of all this what's next energy. And you both want companionship, you know, you guys want the full package. You both want the same thing. You guys want someone in the other person who is your best friend, who is your lover, and who is really your partner through everything in life, through all the ups and downs, you know, just like in wedding vows, through sickness and in health, through richer and poorer. You know, those vows, those traditional vows are written the way that they are written for a reason, because that is the pattern of life, basically. You know, we go through these ups and downs, and whoever is going to be that person to stand by our side, you know, really needs to be with us through all of that, the good and the bad. And you guys both want that. And, you know, you don't just want that in general overall, but you want that with one another. You want that with the other person. And because of that, you know, look at this. Impatient, I can't wait. So I think you guys are kind of already both impatient right now because, you know, we have, you make my temperature rise in the current energies and stuff like that. So you're definitely impatient because your temperatures are being made to rise. So I think you guys are already there with that. But when you guys do reunite, when you guys do come back together and communicate, all that fiery explosion stuff is just gonna pop again. Because, you know, look at the guy in this picture. He's ready. He cannot wait. He's like Come on, girl. Let's go. So it's gonna be no different when you guys do reunite. It's gonna be amazing. I'm tired of dancing alone. Depression. Well, I think that there's a way you guys can avoid depression in the future, because you both also want this companionship. And with completion and companionship, this cancels out depression. So I think that the important thing to learn from this card is that you both need to get very vulnerable with one another in the future, and just be honest with one another that you don't want to be doing life alone, that you do want this companionship. You know, you don't want this. And I do think that there's going to be that shared expression between one another where you're both basically going to have to get vulnerable with one another once again, like you did in the past. And that's going to be the only way to kind of overcome where you're at right now. You're both going to have to get vulnerable and tell one another, you know, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to, you know, do this life thing all by myself. I do want companionship. I do want that loyal, long-lasting, lifetime love, you know, the kind of love where it's like you see grandma and grandpa grow old together and, you know, live their last days with one another. So I definitely feel that you guys can cancel out this depression just by being open and vulnerable together in the future. There doesn't have to be depression, for sure. Justice. I'm ready to leave and bring you balance. So in the future, there's going to be this forward movement. You know, if you see, the both of them are on this motorcycle, which very much so reminds me of like the Chariot moving forward. So there's going to be forward movement in the future, which is great because you both are going to be ready to get out of this hangman type of energy that's happening here, where you're like, I don't know what to do, what's happening, where do we go from here, kind of a thing. There's going to be forward movement. Someone's going to, you know, get to the point where they're tired of being here and they're going to come forward and be vulnerable and confess to you, I'm tired of dancing alone and that I just want loyal companionship, so you guys can have your completion, your happily ever after together. So that's definitely going to have to happen for all the rest of that stuff. And, you know, I don't know if it's going to be you or the other person, but if it's you, you'll know when it's right to come forward to that person. But if it's that other person, you know, he's just going to pop up unexpectedly, which I'm definitely getting the vibe. It'll most likely be him, because the masculines, they are the ones who are supposed to be the ones pursuing. They are the ones who, you know, want to protect and go after and that kind of thing. And the feminines should be receiving the forward motion that comes through. So for most of you, I do think that it's going to be that masculine who's going to come through to you. Secluded. I'm tired of being without you, which very much so is a companion to this card. This person is tired of being without you. They're tired of dancing alone. There is going to be this discussion happening. Like, when you guys have this conversation, I feel like you're both going to be venting a lot to each other about how hard and how difficult this time of separation has been apart from one another. But it's beautiful at the same time, because I think you both have grown and learned a lot about yourselves, about love, about life. Like, it's kind of funny because, once again, if we go back to the past energy for a minute, you know, we have karma in the past and the karmic in the past. So I think that, you know, history had a lot of maybe other people involved, codependency, possibly other toxic behaviors like addictions and that kind of thing, but definitely other people, like other relationships and stuff. And in the present energy, because this is the past, I don't think that's happening in the present. I definitely get the feeling that both of you are probably single right now, for most of you who are watching this. which is where this tired of dancing alone and being secluded, tired of being without you thing comes in. Because neither one of you are even with another person. Neither one of you are even taking comfort in just like another warm body, basically, even if it's not the warm body that you really want or you're really interested in. So I definitely feel like you guys are both alone. So I feel like you guys have each gone through a phase of learning lessons, dealing with other people in the past with karmics, and that the present lessons that you've been dealing with has basically been the lesson of being by yourself, just like being alone. And sometimes being alone is even harder than dealing with other people, because the thing is, when it comes to life, whether it's positive relationships or negative relationships, your friends or your family, your lovers, whoever it is that you're around, the thing is, all the relationships around you, the one person you can never get away from in your entire life is yourself. So your relationship with yourself has to be the best relationship in order for all the other relationships around you to really function properly and be healthy. So I definitely feel that while the past was a great time to learn about dealing with other people, the present is a time where you guys have been learning to deal with yourself and to have a healthy relationship with yourself and love yourself and be good to yourself. And it's kind of like that's that final layer where you guys really get good at having a good relationship with your own individual persons. That way then, when you're done with that, you can get past all this alone stuff and you can move into that companionship that is whole and healthy, where there's no karma, where there's no lack of self-love, where you both love one another and you love yourselves fully in a healthy way, and you're able to communicate to one another with your love languages in an effective way where both of your needs and both of your wants are met. So it's definitely what I'm picking up here. And finally, we have betrayal. How could we do this? So I think once again, this is a question being posed to your past. And by the time, you get to this future energy, even the present energy will obviously be a part of the past. So how could we do this? I think that when you guys have this deep conversation in the future, because I definitely sense it's going to be a long conversation, it's going to be a deep conversation, but it's going to be such a healthy and cleansing, good conversation for the both of you. But when it does happen, one of the questions that's going to be posed by either you or them or both of you will be, how could we do this? And I think that's just going to be basically kind of clearing up the cobwebs, clearing up the air from, all the gunk of the past. Maybe kind of even going back to the deeper past of, some of this karmic stuff that has happened. And of course, where you guys have been at in present tense with, the loneliness you're both experiencing. But I definitely think that deep questions like, how could we do this, are going to be addressed in this conversation. And possibly even other deep questions, other deep questions that aren't even laid out here in these cards. But I think that definitely says to me that there are going to be lots of deep questions proposed, lots of deep questions answered, lots of very personal thoughts and opinions and emotions that are shared. There's going to be a lot of vulnerability that's going to come out between the both of you. So it's going to be very healthy. It's going to be very cleansing. And by the time you're through with it, you're going to get to that companionship and that completion. And then you're going to celebrate because you're not going to be able to wait any longer. So the outcome here is definitely good. There's a little bit more work that needs to be done, obviously. I think the most important thing to do right now in this time is continue to love yourself. And the funny thing about like self-healing is you really can't heal yourself. The best way to heal is to spend a lot of time in prayer and to ask God to heal you, to ask God to heal all the places you're broken, all the places that you ache, whether it's your heart, your emotions, your mindsets. Ask him to break off the mental strongholds that are holding you back, that are holding you down in all areas of your life, not just connected to love, not just connected to what's happening in this situation, but, just spend a lot of time in prayer and ask for healing from God, and God will be the one to heal your heart, because truthfully, you can't really do it yourself. There's a bigger power here who can help you, and it can definitely happen. So, prayer is the best answer. Pray to have healing for yourself. Pray for your person, of course, too, because they need all that love and prayer just as much as you do. And through prayer, through connecting with God, you will learn so much more about yourself that is amazing and wonderful, and you'll learn how to love yourself better, and your person will love themselves better, and you guys will be able to come together, have deep, amazing conversations, and ride off into the sunset and have your happily ever after. Your journey to love is a beautiful one. Always remember that God is the one who is writing your love story. You can trust him with this. The pen is in his hand, and, you may be unsure right now. You may have regrets right now. You may feel like moving on right now, but just remember, this person is your perfect fit, and it's all going to come together for that completion. So just trust God in the process. Trust that he has this relationship in the palm of his hands, and it's going to be beautiful and amazing. And I'm so excited to hear the testimonies that are going to come out of you guys on your happily ever afters, because it's going to be amazing. And that's also what makes like the best love stories too. It's easy when it's like, oh yeah, we met, we fell in love, we got married, we popped out a couple of kids, the end. That's boring. Who wants boring? Epic love stories are the ones that have the twists and the turns and the ups and the downs. So you guys are going to have an amazing story to share with other people who may be going through stuff. And, not just for like other people in love situations, but it's going to be inspiring for your own kids. If you already have them, or, maybe kids that you're going to have with this person. It's going to, teach them like this is the best kind of love to have. So yeah, you guys are really going to be just this force of inspiration for others with your relationship. And just 2 more cards that I want to share with you guys that are not a part of the Journey of Love decks, but I always pull a Jesus card from the Loving Words from Jesus deck, because to me, a Bible verse a day keeps the bad vibes away. So for today's Bible verse, we have, love one another as I have loved you, John 13:34, which I think is so incredibly fitting for this reading, because this reading is all about loving yourself, spending time with Jesus, spending time in prayer, obviously, and, loving your person unconditionally too. So definitely, love is the theme here, that unconditional love. There's nothing more greater in the world than love. And finally, from the songs deck that I channeled, basically this would be a song that your person would dedicate to you on the radio if you were listening to the radio, and this would be the song that they would say, this is how I'm feeling right now, and this is what I would like to dedicate to you. And the song that I pulled was Touch My Body by Mariah Carey. So once again, going back into that heat and that passion vibe, they're definitely feeling that for you. So they definitely want to have a little bit of fun, which I'm sure will happen once you guys reunite. They can't wait. So get ready, it's gonna be fun. Anyway, that's basically what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Once again, if the message did not flow, just let it go. But otherwise, if it did, please let me know in the comments down below. Better yet, if this situation winds up playing out in the future, come back to this video and let me know. You know, I always love to hear when these things actually play out. So drop me a comment down below one way or another, whether it resonated now or it unfolds that way in the future. And leave this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when future videos are coming out your way. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love.